If you've finished or you're close to finishing a nonfiction book or a memoir and you're considering self publishing, this video is specifically for you. This is not for you if you're making puzzle books or low content journals, coloring books. This is for actual authors with actual books. My name is Elizabeth Lyons. I've published 6 books of my own and more than 100 for other authors, and I help authors do this every single day. I know what confuses people and what actually matters when it comes to self-publishing. And so I'm here to make the process a little bit simpler. You're going to walk away from this video knowing what KDP is, how to set up an account, how to upload your book, how to properly price your book, and how to make your book discoverable over on Amazon or KDP, which stands for Kindle Direct Publishing. So first, let's talk a little bit about what is KDP and why does it matter for authors like you. KDP stands for Kindle Direct Publishing. It is essentially the publishing arm of Amazon. There are there are actually 3 formats that you can offer your book in through KDP: ebook, paperback, and hardback. Most of the time, I don't recommend hardback. I find that in the self-publishing space, it's not nearly as desirable as is a paperback or an ebook. The cost of it is also significantly higher for both you as the author and for the purchaser. So you can give it a go. You can certainly give it a go and have it as an option. But almost everything that I talk through has to do with creating an ebook and or a paperback. And for me, if you create one, I don't understand why you wouldn't just go ahead and create the other, which is why I teach both of them together. Love them or hate them, Amazon is where people go. The majority of people go to buy books. Of course, there are people who are completely anti-Amazon. They won't buy anything from Amazon. They will only buy from an independent bookstore or a physical bookstore. But the data still shows that 60 to 80% of consumers buy their books online. And of that 60 to 80%, 50% of it, they're shopping through Amazon. And we all understand why. The prices are the lowest. You've got your 2-day shipping. Pretty soon you might be able to have it on your doorstep in an hour. But it's that convenience factor that people, even if they want to do it differently, they often do not. Now, self-publishing on Amazon does not equate to a low quality book. In fact, Amazon is working very, very hard to keep low quality out of the mix. With almost 45 million titles there right now, they have to do that. And sometimes some of the good guys actually get nixed before the bad guys do. But the bottom line is that with all of the new technology that they're putting in place and the checks and balances, for example, with Barnes & Noble Press right now, which is actually an aside, this doesn't have anything to do with Amazon, but if you're uploading through Barnes & Noble Press instead of or in addition to Amazon, and you have more than 100 titles in your account, you're almost immediately eliminated and your account is removed because they know you're just putting together low content products and putting them up there and hoping to have this sort of passive income miracle come through, which doesn't exactly really happen, without jumping through a lot of other hoops that I won't even get into in this video, nor do I have any desire to do them. Now, quick distinction. KDP is the platform. It is not the publisher. You are the publisher if you upload your book to KDP. You retain all of your rights. You retain all of your earnings minus what you pay as a print cost to Amazon, but you don't pay it. It comes out of when someone buys a book. So that's why they call it print on demand. Until someone orders a book, the book is typically not printed. Your printing cost comes out of that, and then the royalty is sent to you. So you do not have to stock books in your home. You do not have to pay every month for the printing cost. The printing cost comes directly out of your royalty amount. It lessens, we could say, your royalty amount for the book. And we'll get to that a little bit more in pricing. Now, another thing I want to mention, this is not a passive income video. So the idea that you can just create a book and throw it up on Amazon and all of a sudden be making money, you wake up every morning to sales, that does not happen unless you have someone else doing some very, very active promotion of your book to a very large and eager audience. There are simply too many books. You will absolutely be a needle in a haystack, a very, very large haystack at that, if you do not put something in place to help your book be discoverable by the, see the air quotes, right people when they're searching on Amazon. And that's a whole separate topic, frankly. But I want to dispel this notion that, if I build it, if I write it, if I upload it, the readers will come. There's a lot of that being sold out on all the places, and it's not a thing. If you want to try it, go try it. I'm pretty sure you'll come back and be like, you were right. It's not a thing. Even authors who are working really hard to get the word out about their book wish they were selling more books than they're selling. So that's just part of it. Okay, so let's talk about setting up your KDP account. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. For some reason, the setting up of this really trips people up and they don't want to do it themselves because they're afraid they're going to mess it up. So let me show you just how simple it is. So what you're going to do is you're going to come over to kdp.amazon.com. And I am assuming in doing this that you're in the United States. If you're not, your URL will be amazon.ca if you're in Canada, or amazon.fr if you're in France. So you will use the Amazon site where you are located in the world. But this is assuming you're in the US. So you would click on this button that says Join KDP. And now you're going to create an account. So I'm going to walk you through this, and I'm going to kind of make this up as I go along. So let's pretend my name is Joan Smith. So we're going to use joansmith@gmail.com, and we're going to create a password. And you're going to click Create Your KDP Account. Okay, so now it's going to send an email to your email address, which I've obviously made this one up, so I'm not going to be able to verify this, but it will send you a one-time password. You're going to enter that security code right here, and you'll create your Amazon account. Okay. So the first thing you're going to do is go to your bookshelf. You can see up here, you've got bookshelf, reports, community, and marketing. The first place you're going to go is your bookshelf. This is your home base. This is where everything lives. And I'm just going to go ahead and show you. I've got all my books in here, but let's use Write the Damn Book Already, which is my most recent book, to show you how this all lays out. So under paperback details, you're going to put in the title of your book. Once you have published your book, you cannot change the title. You can change the subtitle for the ebook version, but you cannot change the title once everything has gone live. And it does have to match exactly the title that you have registered with your ISBN over on Bowker. Do not let that overwhelm you if it's feeling overwhelming. I have an entire course that walks you through all of this, the ISBN, the Bowker registration, all those things, if it would be helpful to have a more thorough walkthrough and understanding of what those things are. But if that wouldn't be helpful, I want you to at least have this so that you can see how simple it is to get yourself uploaded. All right, so you're going to put in the author name, any contributors. If you want to put in editors or illustrators, you can do that. And then the book description. So remember, your back cover copy, when you write the copy that goes on the back cover of your book, is not just the back cover copy. It's a sales page, and it's also, to a large degree, your Amazon description. Your Amazon description can be much longer than your back cover copy. You don't have a lot of space on that back cover, but it is not meant to be a summary. It is a sales pitch. And when you're putting it in the description, keywords are super helpful. They're not the be all end all. All of this works together. So your title, your keywords, your book description, the 7 keywords that you're going to put in, we're going to get to that, the categories, your reviews, which you don't have a ton of control over, but keywords in your reviews also help. So all these things work together over time to continue to tell Amazon and to reinforce to Amazon what your book is about and who your book is for. And over time, Amazon will combine all of that information with who's actually purchasing it in order to get a really good feel for who to show it to longer term with great confidence that person will not only add to cart, but will complete transaction. Hopefully they're not like me where they have 762 items in their cart for 3 years. Okay, so you've got your description here. One of the biggest mistakes that I see, and I hate to use the word mistakes, but one of the avoidable not so good things is not having this formatted correctly. So having it just be one running paragraph. Having it formatted nicely is incredibly helpful because it's easier on the eye and it communicates to a reader that you've done this like professionally. Okay, so you're going to scroll down and confirm that you own the copyright, because hopefully you do, which doesn't necessarily mean that you've registered it formally. It just means this is your work. You haven't copied it from anyone else and put it up here. You do have to say now whether or not your book has sexually explicit images or a title, a reading age, if that's applicable. And then we're going to get down to your categories. Now, I can't walk you through, I have a whole video on YouTube about selecting the best categories, so I'll link to that down below. But this is kind of a whole process, and it is actually important. It's not a magic bullet. Nothing is. But do not select Irrelevant categories. Do not pick categories where you think, this is my advice, my guidance, where you think, oh, there aren't that many books in that category, so I can really quickly hit a bestseller list. That'll last 5 minutes. And believe me, it's harder to get out of than it is to get into. So I do not recommend it. And then you have all of your keywords. You have 7 keywords. This is also a topic I can't cover in detail in this video, but I have tons of resources on it over at publishaprofitablebook.com. It's all contained in the Publish the Damn Book Already course. And there are a lot of other resources, frankly, where you can get this information. I'm not holding on to any massive secrets over here. I just have the approach that I've used for 22 years now. Okay, so you get all your keywords in there. And do your best, if you can, to make sure that some of your keywords are also contained in your description. These are all things that we work through to make sure that everything's working in tandem with each other. Okay, so you're going to click save and you're going to go to the next tab, which is your paperback content. This is where you're going to upload your book. So you do have an option to get a free KDP ISBN. I absolutely do not recommend that. Get your own ISBN, get it from a reputable source. You want to own that. You do not want Amazon to own your ISBN, because then the only place that you can ever sell your book is Amazon. So get your own ISBN, put it in here, create your publishing house name. That's what you'll put right here. These two have to match over at myidentifiers.com. Myidentifiers.com is Bowker's website. Why they are called myidentifiers.com instead of Bowker.com, I will never know, but it is what it is. These things, though, have to match exactly. So if you get an error message from KDP, it may be because these two things do not match exactly. Then you will select your interior. What kind of paper do you want? Is it color? Is it black and white? It's probably going to be black and white, but is it cream paper? Is it white paper? This is so personal preference. Most people go with cream, but I have seen plenty of people go with white, and it's fine. That is not a make or break. You just decide which one you prefer. You're going to select your trim size, no bleed, and again, whether you want matte or glossy. This is also a personal preference. Some authors that I've worked with have me order like a proof of each. So a glossy proof and a matte proof. And then they decide which one they like, and that's what they go with. There's no perfect solution here. It's what you prefer. Then you upload your cover file. So this is your full PDF, print-ready PDF of your cover. This is something that probably someone else has designed for you. There are a lot of amazing cover designers out there. In Publish the Damn Book Already, I give you full access to mine, and she offers an incredibly discounted rate to students of the course. But there are so many out there that you can find who are reasonably priced and really good at what they do. I make a lot of recommendations on publishaprofitablebook.com about yes to do and no, don't do that when it comes to cover design. But you're going to upload your cover file here. And then you have to say whether or not you used AI tools to create your images or anything in your book, your cover, etc. You'll launch your previewer, and this will let you preview what the inside of your book looks like. I think somewhere we missed upload manuscript. We did right here. So before you upload your book cover, you'll upload your manuscript. And this also has to be a print-ready PDF. This is an area where people get quite overwhelmed. Like, how do I format the interior so that it looks professional? I do walk you through that. There are many other people who can walk you through that. It is a DIY possible thing. You can hire people to format the interior at a reasonable rate, but however you get it done, this is where you're going to upload it. And then you'll launch your previewer. How you see it on the screen is how it will print. So if a chapter is starting on the wrong side of the page, like it's starting on the left and you want it to start on the right or on an odd numbered page, you'll need to fix that before you go to print. One thing that's very helpful when you're coming up with pricing is seeing what your print cost is. And you will see this again when we get to the next tab, which is where you set up your printing. But this book cost me $4.16 to print. So we go to paperback rights and pricing. Now, you probably will select that you have worldwide rights to distribute the book wherever. And then here you will put in the cost of the book. And what it will do, or this is what you want the retail price of the book to be. And what it will do is it will put your printing cost here. And then it will show you exactly what your royalty is. I mean, I can't be any more transparent than this. So I earn $5.41 after the print cost at a retail price of $15.95. Now, something interesting that you may notice about your book, and you may have noticed about another book, is that sometimes Amazon will put the book on sale. Many times I go over to my book, I'd be curious to see what it's at right now, and it's not listed at $15.95. It's listed at maybe $13.87. It's a very bizarre number. Amazon is playing with the price. They will play with the price to try to find the sweet spot. What is important for you to know is that this number right here, your royalty, does not change unless you change the price of your book. So this is how much I earn per paperback sale in the US. I do not recommend, and I go into a lot of detail other places, expanded distribution. So I'm going to tell you like ixnay on the expanded distribution. And then once you've done all that and it's accepted it, you request a proof. And so this goes into your Amazon cart, just like anything else goes into your Amazon cart, and you order it and have it shipped to you. Couple things to note. Number one, you cannot use, if you have Amazon Prime, you cannot use your free shipping to order a proof. You will have to pay for shipping on the proof, but it's usually not terribly expensive, especially if you do whatever the economy shipping is. If you want it shipped overnight, it may cost $20 or $30 to do. Please note, if you have it shipped overnight, that's overnight after it prints. It's not overnight like the day you hit order. It's going to ship and be there the next day. So you'll get overnight shipping after it prints, which could take up to 10 days. It usually doesn't, but depending on how busy they are, you do not get the same priority in the queue as someone who's paying full price for anything on Amazon. So that's just something important to note. So once you upload the paperback, you can then go and start an ebook, and it will keep a lot of the same data. And then you will enter in the new data, like the ISBN for the ebook, the manuscript for the ebook, the cover, which is now just a JPEG of the front cover. It's not the full front, spine, back of for the cover. You will do all that in order to have your ebook uploaded as well. I talked a little bit a second ago about the pricing. The way royalties are calculated, it requires you to turn your brain on sometimes. So paperbacks are 60% of your retail price minus the print cost. So again, remember, you can see in that royalty calculator, you can sit there and play with it and see exactly what your royalty amount will be. Some people go high with their paperback and they actually price themselves out of the market. Some people are able to command a higher amount because they already have a platform of people who are willing to pay a higher amount because they have they're speaking about a specialty that they have, an area of expertise. So it's not something I can speak to on a general level. It's individual, but what I encourage people on a general level to do is to see what your competition is priced at and stay in that general arena. Don't go significantly higher, certainly don't go significantly lower, especially with your paperback. Your ebook royalties is 35% or 70%. It depends how you price it. So if you price the ebook at under $2.99 or over $9.99, you'll only get 35% of your retail price. Anywhere between $2.99 and $9.99, you'll get 70%. So most people, unless they're running a short time sale in order to get eyes on the book, etc., keep their ebook between $2.99 and $9.99. Typical price ranges for nonfiction or memoir run anywhere right now between, I think, $12.95 and $19.95. And $12.95 and $19.95 are less common. Like the sweet spot is really $13.95 to $15.95 for both of those. But have a look at what your competition is doing and use that to guide you a bit. All right, so let's talk about making your book discoverable, because who the heck cares if it's up there if no one can find it? Please keep this in mind. Amazon is a search engine first. It's the third largest search engine in the world behind Google and YouTube. Pinterest is number 4. That is why keywords are so important when it comes time to writing your book's description. And I do have a resource that's on sale right now. It's $17 for helping you write a great book description that first and foremost goes on the back cover of your book, but then can be easily tailored to have a really compelling description on Amazon that reads like a compelling description, not like AI, and tells Amazon, signals to Amazon exactly who to show the book to while communicating to a consumer, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I need. So when it comes to those 7 categories that I showed you when you're uploading, think like your reader first. What are they typing in that search field in order to find a book just like yours? When it comes to categories, what section of the virtual bookstore would they go to find a book just like yours? With categories, you want to go as specific as you can, not super broad. So just the term, for example, memoir or personal memoir is extremely broad. You want to niche down a little bit so that the people who are looking for exactly what you've written, actually, it's a little oxymoronic, but they have a better chance of finding it that way. And remember, your book description needs a hook, not a synopsis. So you want to sell the benefit of your book, not the features of your book. You don't want to tell people what the book is. You want to compel them to purchase it. And yes, Amazon ads are a next level option for people often ask, should I do Amazon ads or meta ads? Prefer Amazon ads. That's a next level option. I do have an Amazon ads course that walks you right through how I have scaled my Amazon ads over time. Over time is a very important thing to mention. And I mention it so that you don't get frustrated, because these things it doesn't happen overnight. But Amazon ads are a very inexpensive way, in my experience, the most inexpensive way to get the right eyeballs on your book and see what's working and what's not, and therefore tweak it. Because one of the great things about publishing through Amazon or KDP is that you can change your listing anytime. You can change your description, you can change your keywords, you can change your categories. I don't recommend doing any of that frequently, because then the whole system just gets confused. But you can even re-upload a manuscript if you find a typo down the line. So there's a lot of flexibility in terms of tweaking and making changes for a long-term trajectory for your project. The thing is, KDP is really approachable once you know what you're looking at. The dashboard is not intimidating once you come to understand what's where and what does what. So once you've loaded a book, you can load as many books as you'd like. Your choices aren't permanent, and you can update almost anything except for the title, really, after and the ISBN, after publishing. Every single author I've worked with, and I'm one of them, has had a what moment while they're doing this. That's to be expected. There is a learning curve with KDP publishing, just like there is with anything. It's so cliche, but if I can do it, anybody can do it. So it's absolutely overcomable and it's learnable. And there's no reason for you to be pulling your hair out while you're trying to upload a book to KDP. If you want a checklist to work through this step by step, you can grab my self-publishing action plan. I'll put the link down in the show notes. If you want a full course to walk you through every single step by step with videos and the whole shebang, check out Publish the Damn Book Already. I cover descriptions, categories, standards, keywords, why not to do expanded distribution, when to do KDP Select and when not to, and also what is it, and how also to upload to Ingram Spark and Draft to Digital if you want to distribute outside of Amazon. So the link for that is in it as well. I hope this has been helpful. I hope it's taken some of the overwhelm out. If you have additional questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below. Be sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss any videos that are coming down the pike, or any of the great podcast interviews that I do over on Write the Damn Book Already. And I look forward to talking with you again soon.